We see a woman running through the woods, covered in blood, as she passes by an old abandoned bridge. As she keeps running, she sees something. It appears to be an old house. As she slowly walks in, we see blood soaked on a carpet, leading to a bunch of torn up skin on the floor. The woman looks disgusted as she walks through this dark living room, ever so slowly. We see her walking through this old room with no sign of anyone around. She then hears a noise coming from inside. It sounds like some kind of creature, although we don't see what it is. She goes towards a window to close it. Out of nowhere, a man with a skull mask grabs her right hand. As she's trying to get him off of her, she then yells, "I'm not going back! I'm not going back!" But then the man cuts her on the arm as she screams out in pain as she closes the window. The blood is pouring out as she hears the man trying to open the door over and over again. She's running up the stairs as her arm is bleeding out. She locks herself in the bathroom as we see her whispering, "I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry." But then we see a bath filled with blood as we see a hand come out of the water. She quickly tries to open the window to escape, but it's not opening because it hasn't been touched in years. We see a dead head rising from the water. We see the man break into the house as he sees a blood trail leading up the stairs, and he follows it. He slowly walks up the stairs and says, "Jade, you know I like you. I said it would be over soon, and I promised to make it easy for you. But you just didn't listen. So now, it has to be slower." He busts the door down, and as we see Jade in the corner, and he pulls out his weapon with spikes at the end and says, "Found you." She's breathing heavily and says, "I'm not going back." He says, "You're already on your way." The girl says, "I'm not fucking going back." The man says, "Here comes the fun part." But then the deadhead comes out of the bathtub and jumps onto the man and takes him down and starts ripping his insides apart and starts eating this guy alive as he screams out in pain. Jade sees her chance and breaks the window. She jumps out of there in a hurry while the deadhead is busy with the masked man. She jumps off the roof into the grass. As we see her arm is still bleeding pretty bad. As we see her running, we see her take a rest as she is out of breath, and she leans up against a tree. As we then transition to the skull hunter tied to a tree. As we see the man look scared, and the woman asks him, "How many of you are out there?" The man still says nothing. The woman says, "Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, talk about a closed book. All right, we'll do this the hard way then. One more chance, asshole. Who are you working for?" The man starts crying, and the woman grabs his mask and takes it off. As he looks scared, she rips his mask clean off. As we see several scars on his face, we see he looks terrified. As they look at him, and the man says, "Oh my God, you're Rob Johnson." The woman asks, "Who the hell is Rob Johnson?" The man says, "A rock star back in the 2010s. My mom and dad used to listen to his music all the time. Till one day he murdered one of his own fans. City found out, put him away for good. My mom told me that story many years ago. He was talked about all over town. Never forgotten. It makes sense now. You're hiding your face because you're afraid of facing your demons. You don't want people to know who you really are, what you really are all about. So what? Hide your face out here collecting these skulls? Killing people? Is that it?" Rob says, "No, I didn't." The woman says, "Oh yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go to next. Your people attacked us last night. Attacked our horses, attacked our crew. Killed our people, families. So I want you to tell us everything we want to know about your people, or I'm gonna drive this claw of mine through your skull and I will bring your head back to our leader. You should know, they're not really the listening type. Rob says, This isn't what it looks like. The woman says, Oh, it's not. Then what is it? Huh? Rob says, I'm not collecting these skulls by choice. I have to do this, or someone I care for very much, they're gonna die. So if you think I'm the threat you're looking for, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, you caught the wrong guy. They lay off of him, and the man and woman walk away for a second. The man says, You think we're being tricked right now? The woman says, Don't worry, I got him. Right now, we keep an eye on him and we get back to our people. That's all that happens. And if he keeps lying, and if he is with them, she smirks and says, Looks like we have a hostage of use.